Pilipinas.
Booster shots to the elderly and the sick, as drug regulators say vaccinating younger children may be possible before the year ends. Netizens complain about receiving unsolicited and shady text messages of job ads and offers. Authorities believe an organized global syndicate is the culprit. And it's all about girl power for today's music dose, courtesy of music icons Adele, Taylor Swift, and Mariah Carey. Well, first were the hospitals. Now it's the turn of local governments to distribute COVID-19 booster shots to two more priority groups. Local officials are requiring those eligible, senior citizens and people with weak immune systems, to register first. Carolyn Bonquin filed this report.
Senior citizen Cesar Cruz is among those who first got a booster shot in San Juan City on Tuesday. He chose Pfizer, same brand as his first two doses.
Initially, I was looking at Moderna, but I asked one of the doctors, recommendation niya was just go for Pfizer. It's a lot safer.
Mina Kapalad had Sinovac vaccine as primary series and also got Pfizer as booster.
Itong ano ngayon sa kanila, itong recommenda nila ngayon. Kung ano lang ang nandiyan na pwede available.
Ameline, who has weak lungs due to pulmonary fibrosis, also came early. Based on the guidelines, she's been due for an additional dose since October.
Kailangan ko din siya since pulmonary fibrosis kasi more on, di ba, masama siya pag napasukan ng lalo COVID-19, mapasama lalo kasi sa lungs yung sakit niya.
Like health workers, senior citizens and persons with weak immune system may choose to get the same or different brand of vaccine. But in the end, it depends on the doctor's recommendation and available supply. No walk-ins are allowed, at least in San Juan City. They only accommodate pre-registered vaccinees.
Hindi naman namin ina-assume na lahat ng nabakunahan dati ay gusto magpa-booster shot. So sayang naman kung ito-text namin sila at hindi rin sila pupunta.
You need to present your vaccination card and ID so vaccinators can check if you are qualified for a booster shot or an additional dose. That is, 3 months fully vaccinated with Janssen and 6 months for other vaccine brands. But others who were only days short were allowed to take booster shots in San Juan, like Losanta Daniel. Her 6th month is on December 1st. Her companion says she's having the same brand as her initial doses.
Yung first and second dose niya is Sinovac po. Walang naging side effect sa kanya kasi at least sanay na siya dun sa bakunang Sinovac.
Gaya yan, yung instant case na yan naman is meron siyang clearance from doctor. So yun, so hindi siya, it's more on a exemption than a rule. The rule pa rin is dapat 6 months.
In Manila, many senior citizens with underlying illnesses also lined up for booster shots in hospitals, just like in Ospital ng Maynila.
Hika, diabetes. Hindi ko po kayang magkasakit. Kailangan pang mabuhay na matagal.
The hospital is also accepting vaccinees from other areas.
Kung gusto talaga dito nila magpabakuna, kinakailangan lang po talaga ay magpa-pre-register tayo sa Manila COVAX, no?
Other provinces and cities in Metro Manila have yet to start giving boosters for senior citizens and persons with weak immune system in the coming days as they await for more vaccine supply. Carolyn Bonquin, CNN Philippines.
The Food and Drug Administration says COVID-19 vaccination of younger children is possible before the end of the year. The agency is currently waiting for at least 2 pharmaceutical companies to submit amendments to their emergency use authorization that will make way for the vaccination of children aged 5 to 11.
Pretty sure Pfizer is going to be ready, and the Sinovac also told us that their data is being collated and will be submitted soon. So I believe before the end of the year, we're going to have vaccines for children below 12.
The FDA also says recent data on the ongoing vaccinations of minors aged 12 to 17 are looking good, with less than 1% of about 500,000 vaccinees reporting just mild side effects. Now, dozens of business groups want to use their own COVID-19 vaccine supplies as booster shots. In a joint statement, Nearly 30 organizations urge the government to allow them to distribute booster shots to their employees and families. They cite the dramatic decline in cases and healthcare utilization rates in Metro Manila and nearby provinces because of the high vaccination rates. With the oversupply of COVID-19 vaccines, the groups worry that these doses might expire and go to waste. The private sector has helped the government secure millions of vaccines. Earlier, Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship Joey Concepcion called on the government to include economic frontliners in the rollout of COVID-19 booster shots. The Health Department, however, said that only certain sectors are covered in the Emergency Use Authority or authorization for the use of vaccines as booster doses. Now, if the extra doses are expiring soon, the agency advised companies to loan them to the government for the meantime. Presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos submits his drug test results to authorities through his lawyer and spokesperson, Vic Rodriguez. Rodriguez went to the National Bureau of Investigation, the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, and the Philippine National Police this morning. He submitted Marcos's cocaine drug test, which showed a negative result. The lawyer claims it was conducted at the St. Luke's Medical Center, Global City in Taguig on Sunday. He also submitted Marcos's negative methamphetamine and marijuana drug test results. Rodriguez says the presidential aspirant took these tests at the Philippine National Police last November 10 to secure a permit to carry firearms. Last week, President Duterte claimed a presidential hopeful who has a well-known father and family name was into cocaine. Days later, he called Marcos a, quote, weak leader and a spoiled child. The son and namesake of the late dictator, Ferdinand Marcos, says he doesn't feel alluded to and that he took the drug tests to assure the public he is against illegal drugs. He also called on his fellow presidential aspirants to take drug tests as well. CNN Philippines has reached out to St. Luke's Global City for confirmation on Marcos's drug test results, but the hospital has yet to respond. In less than 3 months, campaign season officially begins. The government will start regulating online campaigning, with candidates turning to social media to woo voters. But Stanley Gaheta reports combating disinformation remains a challenge.
Generation Z and first-time voter Rain Dylan Carillo believes online campaign and the use of social media both have advantages and disadvantages.
First, kasi mas madali yung platform of social media to reach out to different people. And then the disadvantages, of course, ang bilis ng spread ng information in social media. So there's so little time to really moderate if it's fake or not. So there's a bigger chance for trolls.
Carillo encounters a lot of news and information about the upcoming elections, and she makes it a point to validate them.
I was taught pala nung elementary kami na to maging mapanuri sa sources namin, to double check and never get information na you can't check from 5 or more sources.
But not everyone is as discerning as Rain. For social media expert Philip Jose Hernandez, the recent COMELEC resolution legitimizes the use of social media for elections, but enforcing regulations will be a challenge.
So if we regulate, for example, the practice, do we actually have enough parameters, manpower, and resources to really regulate and treat them fairly? Kasi in the absence of such, it will just be a piece of paper. Do you regulate the platform or do you regulate the behavior in the platform?
Hernandez says social media is powerful and voters should be wise enough before believing what they see, hear, or read online.
The information you can get on social media can make you decide on something. There are people who do discern. There are people who do know what is true, but it's not given value.
For political scientist and sociologist Frederick Ray, he thinks there's a policy gap in the new resolution.
Hindi niya nire-regulate yung individual being. Hindi niya nire-regulate yung self for it to become responsible.
And with this, disinformation through social media could continue to proliferate.
All actions are influenced by available information. The essence of this information basically lies in the manipulation or control of the communication process.
Hernandez urges voters to patronize official news sources rather than unverified social media pages.
A good social media user who follows all of these we'll have a better idea, we'll approach the truth closer kasi maraming storytellers.
Stanley Gaete, CNN Philippines.
The National Police is closely monitoring Cagayan Valley and the Bangsamoro region because of the presence of private armed groups. PNP Chief General John R. Carlos says police are studying historical data of election violence to prepare for possible incidents in the upcoming elections. Historically, private armed groups are used to sow fear and terror in favor of some candidates. Carlos says police are still reviewing the list of possible election hotspots while intensifying the crackdown on private armies. Today marks the 12th anniversary of the Maguindanao massacre, the worst election-related violence in recent history. 58 people were killed, 32 of whom were media workers. Up ahead on Newsnight, we'll find out what's driving the latest blast of text messages that advertise or offer jobs. And the Commission on Human Rights warns it will not hesitate to take legal action against those who book fake deliveries following pranks targeting the opposition. Stay tuned.
Oh, anyari sa'yo? Ba't nakasimangot ka? Alam ko na. Masakit ang katawan mo, ano? Sa sobrang trabaho? O di kaya masakit ang ulo sa sobrang stress? Break ka muna. Hinga ng malalim at imasahe ang ulo mo gamit ang Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Ako rin ganun eh. Kaya pag mataas ang tensyon sa trabaho, mag-Herbalaya break ka muna.
Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Amoy na kaaya-aya. Sa bawat pahid ay ginhawa.
Ng bawat Pilipino.
Para sa Step 1 registration, pumunta lang sa register.philsys.gov.ph para makapag-register sa PhilSys online. Ito ang PhilSys, ID natin to.
Sa pagbangon ng mga Pilipino, saludo ako sa mga taong patuloy na humaharap sa hamon ng pagbabago.
Bilang isang ina, handa akong gawin ang lahat para sa kaligtasan ng aking mga anak.
Pandemya man, tuloy pa rin ang serbisyo para malinis ang kapaligiran. Serbisyong publiko para sa kaligtasan ng lahat.
Sa panahon ng krisis, ikaw, ako, magtulungan tayo. Saludo ako sa Pilipino.
Pogino! Dahil yan sa vet-approved Nutri-Chunks Coach Shine. Brewed Active Boost and Prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real salmon goodness and omega-3 and 6 for healthy skin and shiny coat. Kita naman, di ba? Listo, ganado sa Nutri-Chunks Coach Shine.
It's always exciting when mixing in a little flavor in your life. And with San Miguel flavored beer, this is no exception. The first fruit-flavored beer that San Miguel has ever brewed comes in 3 fun and sweet flavors. We've got apple, lemon, and lychee.
San Miguel flavored beer lemon has a distinct and pleasant citrusy aroma and a subtle lemony taste, complemented by beer-like attributes. Flavored beer apple is easy to drink, it is light, and it's got that red delicious apple aroma and taste. San Miguel flavored beer lychee is a smooth, light, flavorful beer with the delicate taste and aroma of fresh lychees.
And having a call-ly time with your friends can be the pick-me-up that you need during these unreal times. No call-ly time is complete without San Miguel flavored beer. With several flavors to choose from, you and your friends can't go wrong.
Welcome back to Newsnight. A week after they were blocked and fired upon with water cannons by the Chinese Coast Guard, 2 civilian boats manned by the Philippine Navy finally completing their mission in the Ayungin Shoal. Their goal was to bring supplies to Filipino troops aboard the BRP, the Sierra Madre, which is stationed in the shoal. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana says the boats arrived in the area at 11 this morning without any untoward incident. He, however, says there was a Chinese Coast Guard vessel in the vicinity that sent a rubber boat carrying 3 persons near the vessel. They took photographs and videos of the Philippine boats while Navy personnel were unloading supplies. Lorenzana says he has communicated with the Chinese ambassador that these acts are considered a form of intimidation and harassment. During the ASEAN-China Special Summit on Monday, President Duterte condemned China's attack on the resupply boats, Saying Beijing's actions do not speak well of the relations of the two countries, he expressed grave concern about the Ayungin Shoal incident, but also acknowledged China's assistance to ASEAN's pandemic response efforts. The president recalled China was among the first to provide vaccines during a global supply problem.
Was a just and fair solution of our disputes. We must realize.
Well, have you been receiving anonymous texts with job offers and the like? Don't reply or click on the links that are included in those messages. The head of the National Privacy Commission says these are text scams from an organized global syndicate. Tristan Adalo has more.
Job opportunities with tempting salaries, all made possible by clicking a link. These spam text messages have been bombarding Filipino mobile users in recent weeks.
Kayo po ay lalansin lamang nito upang magbigay ng inyong personal details at ang dagdag na peligro ho nila ay nanakawan ka ng pera in real time.
Siblings Patricia and Pascal Aurelio expressed their frustrations over the possible leak of their contact details. They have been receiving several spam messages ranging from job offers to even loans from random mobile numbers.
Nakakakaba at nakakatakot na ganun kadaling makuha yung data. Honestly, I'm really concerned because ako personally, I'm a very private person. And iniiwasan ko talagang ibigay ang numbers ko kung saan-saan. So it's really shocking to know that some random numbers from random people get my number.
Some netizens share that they have been receiving at least 5 messages a day and block hundreds of numbers that sent the spam messages. Now they ask, could this be coming from the contact tracing forms that they have signed during the pandemic?
Wala tayong direktamenteng ebidensya na nagpapakita nito. Nakita natin ito nga sabi ko nga sir niya, is an organized international or global na sindikato ang gumagawa nito.
Telecommunications firms are also stepping up their anti-spamming efforts. PLDT Smart says they have blocked keywords, mobile numbers, domains, and IP addresses linked to the spam messages.
We continue to find indicators of compromise about this spamming, in the dark web, and we also have our threat intelligence community that we are part of globally. We are asking about this spamming and we are trying to get more and more domains and IP addresses that we can configure and block.
The telco adds, based on their initial investigation, some of the IP sources of the text spams came from abroad.
IP sources located in Hong Kong. In other engagements, IP sources located in Malaysia, located in Taiwan, located in Singapore. So this is a sort of a big and well-organized campaign. No?
Globe Telecom is also intensifying its anti-spamming measures by blocking over 5,000 numbers linked to spam messages. As authorities and telco providers probe the proliferation of these spam text messages, the public is encouraged to be more careful in giving out sensitive information to unknown numbers or strangers, no matter how enticing their offers may sound. Tristan Odalo, CNN Philippines.
The National Telecommunications Commission directed telco companies to send a text blast to subscribers warning them not to believe and give out personal information to these spam messages. The firms are required to submit a compliance report by December 14. From fake job offers to fake delivery bookings, opposition bets were pranked on Monday after fake orders were placed under their names. Presidential aspirant and Vice President Leni Robredo was the first to be victimized by the modus. Multiple transactions totaling over 100,000 pesos were made in Robredo's name via the mobile app Metro Mart. The items were sent to the office of the Vice President through cash on delivery. The goods were returned to supermarkets without charging the OVP and the riders. Robredo called on those playing pranks to stop wasting the precious time of delivery riders. Her running mate, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, also received a fake order on the same day for frozen meat and wine worth 90,000 pesos. Re-electionist Senator Risa Ontiveros shares a food order worth 17,500 pesos was also made under her name and Senate office. The hashtags We Love Duterte and I Love Drilon were part of the order notes, but the transaction did not push through. Ontiveros is considering filing a complaint to protect local businesses and delivery riders. The Commission on Human Rights says it was also contacted by several businesses yesterday for food deliveries that no one in the agency booked. The CHR adds an investigation is underway and that it will not hesitate to take legal action against those also planning the same prank. Meanwhile, two companies known for food, retail services, and delivery are teaming up for a new project to help members of underserved sectors jumpstart their own business. Chrissy Di Matulak has details on this livelihood program in Caloocan City.
Sheila Araneta is a graduate of a 2-year drug rehabilitation program in Caloocan City. She's excited to get back to her normal life in the outside world. But she has one problem. She realized it's not easy to start all over again for someone like her.
Hirap magsimula ulit. Kasi hindi mo alam kung ano, natatakot ka na kumuha ng mga requirements kasi may records ka na.
Araneta is among the chosen beneficiaries of Caloocan City's livelihood program called the Bayanihan Palengke. Drug rehab graduates like Araneta can have a fresh start as they are given an opportunity to sell fresh produce to their community.
The way to attract them really is meron ba talagang maayos na business proposition.
To make this possible, Caloocan partnered with food delivery service Food Panda and 24-hour retail store company Philippine 7, which operates 7-Eleven. Under the agreement, Food Panda will provide seed capital for beneficiaries, while 7-Eleven will use its trucks to pick up fruits and vegetables directly from farms.
The supply chain on fresh vegetables and produce is something that we've been very interested in from day one. Why is that? It's because we have so many restaurants, we deal in food, so anything that we can do to streamline one of the main inputs, which is produce and lower cost, that's something that we're interested in.
We have trucks that go out, let's say to Baguio, para mag-deliver sa stores doon. Tapos pagbalik, walang laman. So, we said, okay, well, libre naman yung wala naman laman. So, sige, pasakyan natin yung mga vegetables para makatulong.
According to Morogi, Food Panda riders can also be part of the program and serve as resellers. They can earn extra income by delivering produce to different areas. The two companies are eyeing to launch the program soon in Manila City. Chrissy Di Matulak, CNN Philippines.
The Senate is set to resume its probe into the government's alleged mishandling of pandemic funds on Friday. The investigation into the government's supposedly anomalous deals with pharmaceuticals was triggered by a Commission on Audit report that flagged deficiencies in the Health Department's COVID-19 spending. For Health spokesperson Maria Rosario Vergere, the probe is delaying the DOH's COVID-19 response.
In my opinion, it has demoralized our cadre. Because we were branded and we were included into this kind of controversy wherein, based from our work and efforts that we have done, we have acted according to the laws of the country and the different policies that are there. We would like to just manifest that we will always cooperate, but there are still other things that the department and the national government has to attend to because we are in the middle of the pandemic.
Join our senior anchors Pinky Webb and Rico Hizon as we take a hard look at the country's COVID-19 response, the milestones and the controversies. Catch our special presentation, Politics of COVID-19, Winners and Losers, this Thursday, 8 p.m., only here on CNN Philippines. Still on Newsnight, Filipino pole vault sensation EJ Obiena slams the Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association for accusing him of not paying his coach on time. And female artists are taking over the global charts and breaking new records this year. We'll take a look after this break.
Oh, anyari sa'yo? Ba't nakasimangot ka? Alam ko na. Masakit ang katawan mo, ano? Sa sobrang trabaho? O di kaya masakit ang ulo sa sobrang stress? Break ka muna. Hinga ng malalim at imasahe ang ulo mo gamit ang Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Ako rin ganun eh. Kaya pag mataas ang tensyon sa trabaho, mag-Herbalaya break ka muna.
Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Amoy na kaaya-aya. Sa bawat pahid ay ginhawa.
Nuggets. Looking for faster travel time around Metro Manila? The Skyway Stage 3 project has got you covered. Taking the 17.93-kilometer, 6-lane elevated expressway cuts the usual 2-hour travel time from Buendia in Makati to Balintawak in Quezon City. to just 15 to 20 minutes. As the longest elevated expressway in the country, it is helping decongest major thoroughfares, including EDSA. Skyway Stage 3 also links motorists coming from the South Luzon Expressway, or SLEX, to the North Luzon Expressway, or NLEX. It is also set to create new transport routes for buses and UV Express vans, so commuters will no longer only have to rely on the MRT and the LRT. In an industry first, Skyway Stage 3 also features double-decker stations that will provide enough space for vehicles in the densest parts of the metro. The project is also seen to enhance the economic interaction of Calabarzon, Mega Manila, and Central Luzon that contribute to over 60% of the country's GDP. Skyway Stage 3, an engineering marvel, built by Filipinos, for Filipinos.
Gumagaan ang inuman pag sandiglay.
Hoy, musta? Ako, stressed sa work, kaya ini-imagine kong nasa beach ako. Ako, busy sa paglaba at pagluto, kaya ini-imagine ko, nag-i-eat all you can tayo.
Ako, ini-imagine ko yung bar dati. Laging masaya.
Kasi miss ko na kayo.
Buti na lang, may Sunmiglay dito sa tindahan.
Pagtapos ng mabigat na araw, mag-inuman with friends and Sunmiglay. 100 calories lang, magaan sa tiyan.
Ulitin natin to. Ang alin? Mag-imagine? Hindi, mag-inuman.
Welcome back. A woman who is considered the oldest living person in the country, Francisca Susano, has died at 124 years old. Lola Iska, as she was affectionately called, died Monday evening. Health officials in her hometown in Negros Occidental have yet to determine the cause of death. Lola Iska was born on September 11, 1897, during the Spanish colonial era. As of September this year, the Guinness World Records was still processing documents to declare her as the oldest person on Earth. In sports, Filipino pole vault sensation EJ Obiena slams the Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association, which is now accusing him of not paying his Ukrainian coach on time. Obiena admits he has made late payments to Vitaly Petrov, but only because he had to, quote, do the job of paymaster on top of managing his workload and training as an athlete. He says he had asked Patafa to pay his coach directly, but was always refused. Petrov himself said Obiena has been paying him on time and in full since 2018. The pole vaulter says he's willing to, quote, make peace with his home federation, but that he will clear his name first. He adds he will raise all legal challenges and bring the case to court where, quote, all evidence must be exposed, unquote. Patafa first accused Obiena of not paying over 85,000 euros or 4.8 million pesos in coaching fees. The athlete dismissed the claims as baseless and threatened to immediately retire. On Monday, the Senate adopted a motion to recall the 2022 budget of the Philippine Sports Commission for taking a, quote, hands-off approach amid issues surrounding the Olympian. LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers is getting a one-game suspension without pay for, quote, initiating an on-court altercation with Isaiah Stewart. Meanwhile, the Detroit Pistons center is suspended for 2 games after, quote, aggressively pursuing James after he was struck in the face. The star forward hit Stewart trying to box him out for a rebound in yesterday's event. This is James' first suspension in his 19-year career. And in music, it looks like female pop stars are taking over the global charts. And first on the list is Taylor Swift. Her 10-minute track, All Too Well, debuted at the top spot of the Billboard Hot 100. And it is now the longest song to hit #1 in the chart's history. The previous title holder, Don McLean's American Pie Parts 1 and 2, held the record for nearly 50 years. Adele's 30 is now the top-selling 2021 album in the U.S. just 3 days since it came out. It sold over 500,000 copies as of November 21st, beating out Swift's Red Taylor's version, which set the record a day before Adele's release. But moving from heartbreak to the holidays, it looks like people are ready for the Yuletide season. Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You has slid back into the Hot 100. It lands at 36 on the charts. It is 32 days before Christmas, and that is it for now. Join me again on news.ph at 7 p.m. I'm Pia Ontiveros for Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines.
O, anyari sa'yo? Ba't nakasimangot ka? Alam ko na. Masakit ang katawan mo, ano? Sa sobrang trabaho? O di kaya masakit ang ulo sa sobrang stress? Break ka muna. Hinga ng malalim at imasahe ang ulo mo gamit ang Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Ako rin ganun eh. Kaya pag mataas ang tensyon sa trabaho, mag-Herbalaya break ka muna.
Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Amoy nakaaya.